And so here we sit, once again, my friends, and why yes, you are correct, we're gonna use this a myriad, probably forever, because I love it, bereft of blog, but with a question. Did you know that the Pathfinder 2nd Edition core rulebook is clocking in at 640 pages? Yeah, it's not a small book. I've heard some contention, bit of flack across the nerding world about how this might be a bad thing. Today, let's talk about how our Pathfinder 2nd Edition core rulebook being as big as it is actually, a really good thing for us, the nerding community. And I mean, if you have a problem with it, your character probably has 7 intelligence and can't read anyway. Oh wait, that's a legacy Pathfinder thing. My age is showing, but if you're liking what you're seeing, like, subscribe, ding that bell for all your Pathfinder 1st and 2nd Edition content today. And today's episode was brought to you, in part, by Nick Cirillo. Thanks for your help, man. Now, let's talk about this gigantic thing. Okay, so speaking of gigantic thing, let's talk about the old rulebook, which frankly wasn't that small either. As I open up this PDF, looks like 578 pages is what the Pathfinder 1st Edition core rulebook, though I'm assuming there's some, table of contents and things that some of us might not count fluffing on in there, clocked in at. To put it further in perspective, a book like, say, Ultimate Magic, as you see this screen cap of a PDF clocked in at 258 pages. So basically what we're looking at here is a core rulebook that's the size of our old core rulebook and just a little under half of what a book like Ultimate Magic, one might say a staple book, or maybe they're just real into magi, and you're not wrong for that, my friends. Shocking Grasp does a lot of things. Kill All the Things is one of those things. In any case, I've been thinking about this one a lot, and I can definitely think of 3 reasons why it's super sweet that our core rulebook is as giant as it is. First and foremost, and I think all the 5e refugees who've come over to Pathfinder from the playtest and stuff can probably agree with me on this one. Just because a book is really big does not mean you have to use all of it. Does not mean that someone will put a gun to your head and cold shot your dome if you can't quote page whatever of the book at a given time. For example, I've been playing tabletop role-playing games pretty seriously since, 2014, I would say. And in all my years of gaming, I only recently learned in our Wrath of the Righteous playthrough that if you have cover from someone, you don't provoke attacks of opportunity from them in Legacy Pathfinder. I had no idea. Has my experience been diminished in some way? No. Am I wrong for having not known that info? Technically. But I can think of no instances where my players are going to come beating down the door to my house, torch and pitchforking me because I forgot a little bit of minutia. Again, speaking to the 5e refugees out there, the rulebook is, in fact, a guideline. The first time I ever GM'd a game of Dungeons & Dragons, and this was in 2012, I had never seen the core rulebook. I saw the math of a skeleton and kind of just ran with it. And to put it how Joe used to put it when we talked about some other people GMing in our groups, I got behind the wheel of the car, I started driving, I did not crash. And that's what's important. So a giant book may seem intimidating, but again, as long as you can run the game, you're gonna go just fine. The game will still be fun, and if a rule is relevant for someone's build, to be honest, they probably know it. On the other side of that, the fact that the 2nd Edition core rulebook is so much bigger than it is plays right into my favorite thing about Legacy Pathfinder, that is to say, the bloat. Bloat is a good thing. I know a lot of people don't like Legacy Pathfinder because there's a lot of information. Again, not all of that information is required, but the more information exists, especially from jump, the more stuff we can do. Again, the core rulebook is basically core plus half of an ultimate splat book, which means we have more from jump, which means we're waiting for less as the game grows and develops. To say nothing of the fact that there's more than 30 backgrounds in the Pathfinder core rulebook for 2nd Edition. That's nuts. And again, if you don't see that whole iceberg, your game does not suffer for it. Your game's going to be just fine. It's going to be a lot of fun. But if you're like me and you like all that extra stuff, you'll have your hands on it. And to kind of further that third sub point, this thing's ringing up $59.99 right now, or give or take the price of a new video game. You're getting literally more than one used to. To coin a phrase, more bang for your buck. More or less, to me, that sounds like money saved. That might mean less purchase of splat books in the future to have the stuff we want, or if nothing else, it's kind of like buy one rulebook, get some of a splat book included. Can't argue with that. Well, I guess you can, but if you want to argue about it, throw it in the comments, as that is all I have to say about that. As always, thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe. When we have official blogs, we'll cover them right here on the channel. We wait with bated breath. Stay tuned, my friends.